For anybody who doesn't know, I served in the Navy for 12 years, 10 years on active duty, 2 years in the reserves as a nuclear surface warfare officer. And back in 2019 to 2021, I was on board USS Abraham Lincoln, serving as the reactor mechanical division officer in charge of nuclear mechanics, running and operating one of the reactor plants on board. Well, the USS Abraham Lincoln has really been dominating headlines right now, and I want to come on here and talk and just kind of shed some light from personal experience. As back in 2019, 2020, I was deployed on that exact same ship in that exact same part of the world for roughly about 11 months. And I think the news cycle right now is currently doing a disservice to the service members and using them as a political prop when I really don't think they really deserve it or need our pity. When it comes to why Lincoln's there, when it comes to the war, when it comes to how long she should remain there and when she should come home, all of that can and should be debated. But the thing is, deployments are hard. War is hard. It is not meant to be easy, and we have and are blessed with men and women that fill our 100% all volunteer force. And the thing is, those conditions are tough, but the thing is, it's somewhat of a slap in the face to many other service members who have fought in wars generations before us, when everybody on board has Wi-Fi, they have 3 meals a day. They may not be great meals, but they have 3 meals a day. They have showers. They may not be hot, but they have showers. They have laundry, they have their rack, they have video games, they have gyms, they have fresh air, and they're not in imminent threat of dying. It's two things of, life is hard on deployment. War changes lots of things and makes things way tougher than we're in a peacetime deployment. The logistics behind a lot of the shortages that are going on all are happening because of the fact that we're at war. For those who aren't familiar, aircraft carriers are floating cities in the middle of the ocean supporting 5,000 to 6,000 people. The logistics that come to maintain life on board either arrive there via when the ship pulls into port or when a supply ship comes alongside. But the thing is, at some point in time, either Lincoln itself or the tanker has to go in port. Being in port is actually the most dangerous place for a ship to be. When it's in port, a lot of the systems that defend it and protect it from various different threats while out at sea have to be shut down because you can't properly maintain them while in port. And when you're at war, you can't afford to put these high value assets in regions or in ports where they could be at risk. So they must remain at sea. That being said, if Lincoln remains out at sea, then the supply ships that will come and restock it, they'll have to pull into port somewhere too. But these typical ports, especially in the Middle East, whether it be Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Bahrain, Oman, or any number of the usual spots we'll go into, are all in range of these threats that, are currently driving the war. So they must go elsewhere. And those other places are hundreds of miles away, thousands of miles away across the oceans, and ships don't travel at airline speeds. And they contain perishable goods and food and all these other things that used to take, a few days to a week to arrive on station, now take a few weeks to maybe months. When we're at war and conditions are the way they are, it sucks. Mental health is a serious thing and must be taken seriously. On our deployment, we had multiple sailors with suicidal ideations, and unfortunately, we had one sailor successfully commit suicide. I am not saying that our leadership gets a pass because of war, right? They absolutely do not. And our sailors deserve all the resources we can to make life as good as possible at war and on deployment. But the thing is, using them as a political pawn and giving them pity is not what they're asking for. They need our support. They need you to write letters. They need you to send care packages. They need you to stay in touch with them and their families who are going through hell, wondering when they'll be back and if they're safe. That's what they need. Open discourse and questions about, once again, why we're there, how long we're going to be there, and if this war is justified is all fair game. But I would just ask, don't give our sailors your pity. give them the support that they need.